employees, lend me your full attention. There are currently 80 of you in the building. In 2 hours, we want 30 of you dead.
So I am curious. I have talked to people that have done giant Marvel movies in the past, and they are completely exhausted.
Yeah.
How do you have time to...
They are babies. That's all I have to say about that. Tweet that out. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I don't know. I just don't get that tired. I love doing what I'm doing. I'm having a great time. I'm having a lot of, it's the most creatively invigorated I've felt in my entire life. Being able to do Guardians and then skipping over and doing Belko and doing such different projects at the same time. It's fun, and I love doing Guardians. So why would I, I'm tired physically sometimes, but I'm not that kind of dead-eyed, exhausted zombie thing that some people seem to get. But it's what I want to do. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it because of, the popularity even, or the whatever. I'm doing it because it's a story that I love and feel in my bones. And I think that gives you a lot of extra energy when you do it.
The script was sent out to directors. I read it and blew my mind. I thought it was the greatest thing I ever read. And then I prepared a pitch document for the movie, which was a big, a massive document full of pictures and images and ideas about how the film should be. And I set it off, and then after that, I got a call from James, and then we jumped on the phone, and I was just riffing about the script and what to do, and then pretty soon after that, we were in a room in LA and jumping into casting. So it was a pretty fast process, and it was great. I mean, I was most people in the world were blown away by Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, as a movie fan, that film just blew my mind out. So when I first got the script and read it by James Gunn, I was like, I read it that second. So it was very exciting to read a James Gunn script.
Does that affect the process at all of having everybody going away to a location and being together by...
It certainly does. And I think also, James Gunn has like an extended entourage of actors who he's worked with before, like Rooker and Sean and people like that. So there was a really strong center. There was almost like I don't know if I can say this on TV, but like a no a-holes policy among the cast, because they were such great people and such talented actors. So to have that group kind of bonded together by doing this crazy movie, doing it in Colombia, and kind of all working to do their best work, I think it's part of the reason why the ensemble feels so strong in the film, because they're doing James Gunn's amazing words in this fantastic location and playing these great characters. So there was very much a team spirit aspect to pulling off the movie.
This movie in particular was a giant party. And it's so weird because it is the darkest movie, and people were all crying on set and screaming all day long, and everybody was taking their job very seriously. I think this was the movie with the most talented actors of any cast I've ever worked with. And they're all such serious actors. John Gallagher Jr. is back, so much of his theatrical background. And, Adria is just one of the best actresses I've ever worked with in my life. And Tony Goldwyn is just a dream. Not to mention my brother Sean and Rooker and all these other, guys that were just lifelong fantastic actors who did me a favor and flew down to Bogotá to shoot, a month long of filming. Because everybody had to be around all the time, which I think is part of it too. Everybody was together for a huge part of the shooting because we're shooting all these big scenes with whole office full of 80 people.
It seems like Guardians is a family that comes together from very strange people. Yeah. Belko Experiment is a company, which in many ways feels like it is a family of sorts, but then it goes the opposite direction. Yeah. And I'm curious if they relate in any way in your head.
Well, I think all the stories that I tell relate in a certain way. I think they're all involved with each other. I think that Marvel will get mad if I say the Belko Experiment is within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But if Coming Soon wanted to cut that little piece and make me say that, they could. No, I think that all those things are related. I think I'm always really just sort of fascinated with human relationships. And I think that as different as Guardians and Belko Experiment are, they're about human relationships in different ways. Belko Experiment's a much more harrowing film because it's kind of thinking about those things that we can't help but think about that we also don't want to think about. If you're in your workplace, who would you kill first? Who would you kill last? I know we talked about that a lot on set. Our first answer was always Michael Rooker. That one's a freebie. We know where to go first. That's a gift from God. Thank you, voice, for letting me kill Rooker. I don't have to work with him on another 12 movies. But everybody after that would be very difficult.
end of the day, people are out for themselves.
Yeah.
And now the
Would you like me to
steel
do a-
shutters close.
Yeah, would you like me to do a we're all coming soon? This is James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We're all coming soon.
.net.
.net. Wow.
Thank you.
That ruins it. That part ruins it. All right.
That's the best
It
part.
was pretty good up until then.